Hey everybody, it's time for another Redneck review. This is Robert Lawrence, the Red Prince, and today we're going over my favorite comic book hero of all time, Iron Man, issue number 7. I know it's been a little while since I've done a review. I've took sort of a break. I've been battling some health stuff and just trying to get some stuff all together. But I'm back, and I want to give you all some great reviews and stuff. So here we go. When we last left Tony Stark, we found him in the clutches of an alien race, trying to hold him accountable for the events of A versus X, a book which I intend to do a review here very soon. I'm going to get back, like I said, to fully reviewing all this stuff. Well, back to God Killer Part 2. He's spending, like I said, Tony Stark in this last one was spending his birthday in space, trying to find new ways to help humanity and whatnot. We have this great picture of Stark in his armor behind bars, trying to make his way through. Alright, well the story is written by Kieran Gillen, the writer, and Greg Land, the penciler. Alright, well we find him sort of in this room, cell. He's talking to himself, saying, "So Tony, you killed their god, nice one. But don't worry, I'm sure the Vold will just freeze you in carbonite, and eventually your friends will turn up and pull you out of this mess. And then you'll get to make out with the princess. It's all going to be fine." Yeah, Tony, I don't think that's gonna happen. I love the Star Wars references, though, because that's my number 2 love right there. Is as far as geekdom goes, it's Marvel and Star Wars. Well, Tony, all of a sudden, there's a not buzz at the door, and he goes, "Huh? You don't take no for an answer, do you?" And it turns into this one thing Tony Stark, his one kryptonite, alcohol. But I've changed my mind, he says. "I'd love to have a birthday drink." He goes, "Certainly, sir." And all of a sudden this cup, this platter stuff starts turning into this robot, which turns out to be the mysterious robot known as 451. He's a Regalian robot that basically chronicles the universe for the Regalians. They're a race of basically the Watchers. They collect data and go on from there. This guy basically reprograms himself. He's a very smart android, and he goes through life trying to learn all that's learnable, trying to gain understanding of the universe, and he apparently is trying to help Tony Stark. And he tells him eventually it's not enough to watch, you have to act. I went rogue and I disguised myself to avoid my masters dragging me home, and I travel the universe to help people as best I can, your people. He goes, "Let me help you," he tells him. The robot tells Tony, "I took the liberty of contacting your friends, but they won't reach here before the ancient Bull law has had its way. Think vivisection as an art installation. Okay, can you bust me out?" "Probably," he says, "but I'm hardly a fighter, Mr. Stark. And without your armor, I think it would end badly. So how can you help me?" Tony asks him. He says, he grabs him right here, he goes, on my travels, I've acquired an extensive knowledge of judicial systems across the known universe, including their best application to achieve a satisfactory conclusion for all involved parties." He goes, "Oh, wait, great. You're a lawyer." "Only a little, and you may be pleased to hear one that is happy to work pro bono. You speak Latin?" "I speak everything, Mr. Stark. Mostly. Basically, he's telling him he's been around a while." "Okay, 451, Tony says he doesn't have any options, so he's just going to go with it. He goes, "Dial back the Starks, call me Tony. Let's hear your pitch." "Well, Mr. Tony," he goes, "in 2 hours you will be brought before the Supreme Justicar. Tony Stark, the Iron Man, the Space Knight, the God Killer, behold." And he's telling him, this is who you are. You're, you've killed the Phoenix, basically. This is the Justicar. They're a little bit like the Shi'ar, a little bit like all the races. He goes, "The flame of the bold falcon, the eternal phoenix gone, you are responsible. Have you anything you can say to mitigate?" I don't know anything about you and the Phoenix. It was self-defense. I attacked the Earth. I tried to disrupt it. It didn't work. It ended up trying. I ended up trying a few other things, a lot of lab time. Eventually, with two great friends of mine, I managed to stop it. Not stop it. The Phoenix is gone. Your faith is born. In fact, since ancient times we have concealed ourselves with the heart of the Volt, as silently harvesting energy from the Vold Falcon and other cosmic forces. The power to tear itself. And we learn to love the provider. Basically, they're a group of intergalactic parasites. They feed off people like the Celestials, Galactus, and they just take their power. And now because of your self-defense, they're telling him, we're without our energy source. We're, the ones in trouble. Would you suggest that assassinating gravity could ever be justified? So he's saying you've attacked one of the primary forces for us. If it's what it takes, sure. He tells them the penitent is impatient. You will board now. I demand my right to. Tony's yelling at him. You demand nothing, they say. Chez Tyron. So basically, Tony, we see him in his gladiator clothes. And okay, let me just say this. Tony Stark, Iron Man, is my favorite superhero. But and he was trained by Captain America. I've got to give Tony props. He knows his way to fight a little bit, but he's no gladiator. He's no Spartacus. And basically what they're coming in is, if you live, if you survive, you get to survive. And they're all telling him, how did you even know about the right? We haven't seen it in millennia. It's from the time long before the fall. He's a barbarian, they say. We will discover later, the Justicar says, if he knows our Chez Tyron, then Chez Tyron he will have. And they're all cheering. The Vold are going on. And Tony is preparing to fight his first challenger, Chez Tyron. This is a terrible idea, Tony says. So Tony's not stupid. He understands what's going on, but the 451 tells him, this will buy you time. So just play along with this, break a few skulls, get in with the crowd, and we'll figure the rest out. So Tony goes around, and he's fighting these guys. He's going on one by one. He just has to keep on going. But eventually, he's starting to get tired. And the Justicar says, do not worry, Justicar. The blasphemer will soon tire. They didn't expect him to live as long as he does. But he tells him, it's not him I worry about. It's the Vold. They're romantics. He protected them. He now defeats what they think of as their best fallen. To understand, it's been millions of years since we've been a warrior race, and most of all, only half carry their faith, and deeper than their lips. If this continues, they will be demanding he goes free. It has to end. Ma'am, I have an idea for a champion, though we will have to offer him certain funds. And Tony's starting to get a little, tired here. He goes, hurry up, 451. Eventually, one of them is going to grasp how headbutts work. How headbutts work. Sorry, I said that wrong. I was reading. I didn't think about what he said. Get me my suit and get me out of here. So 451 is going to try and get Tony his armor. Gets his armor, he can bust out of here and take the stuff back. And 451 is intercepted by, why aren't you mechanopoloids doing your job? Don't you want to watch the nice arena fight? Please go. You shouldn't be here. It's blasphemous, he tells him. Please go, just go. Just go. I'm calling the... Oh dear, he says. So he activates the automatons in the room to attack this guy and basically kills him. And he goes, you could stop 451. You could always stop, but it's not enough to watch, he tells himself. So he's going after the Vold's power support. Hasn't gone after Tony's armor. He's gone after something in the Vold's control. He goes, he looks at himself. He has to act. And Tony is still out here fighting these guys, and he goes, we find you innocent of grievous theological harm. Fantastic. Can I go free, he says. The next charge, conspiracy. to decide. Let judgment commence. Oh, come on, don't look like that, Stark. I'll make it quick. And it's the Death's Head guard. He goes, don't you worry, Death's Head is professional, yes? He's like a version of Colossus, a cyborg version of Colossus, a powerhouse. Oh, poor Tony. Alright, guys, well, that's it for Iron Man number 7 of the Marvel Now line. I particularly liked this issue. These next three after the arc have been pretty good stuff. All in all, the art and stuff was great. The story, as far as understanding what goes on in that one, I have to give it a 4.5. And the art, for this one, the art style does it great. And yeah, the art has not been my favorite thing about this Iron Man run. But for this one, it really works. So I'm going to give it a 5. So 4.5 for the story, and a 5.5 on the actual art. So that's it, guys. That's your Redneck review from Robert the Red Prince. If you have any questions for me about a Marvel comic or something I reviewed that I wasn't very clear about, please leave your comments on post at the bottom of the YouTube page here. If you think I haven't gone over something enough, or if I'm wrong on something, please let me know. I'm not afraid of criticism. You know, and I'll do my reviews the way I need to, and if you prove I'm wrong, I'd be happy to sit down and figure out how I can do it better. So guys, thank you so much. Again, this is Redneck Reviews. This is Robert Lawrence, and God bless you all. Goodbye.